a modern racket loaded with power and spin. This is the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Prince Ripcord 100 300 grams. With bold cosmetics, the Ripcord 100 300 grams stands out on the tennis court. The racket features an updated anti-torque system technology for added stability and power on every shot. The user-friendly specs allow for easy swings and plenty of spin potential. Modern players of intermediate to advanced level will enjoy all that the Prince Ripcord 100 has to offer from every area of the court. Prince has always had a soft spot in my heart as it was one of the first racket brands I played tennis with, and I played with it in juniors, in high school, and college. And so when I first picked up this Ripcord, for me it was really easy to play with. It's a really user-friendly racket. And I did get to play test this Ripcord and the Ripstick 100 300 grams side by side, so I kind of had a good comparison, and I really enjoyed the play test between the two of them, and I had a hard time picking which one I liked better. I thought they had both a lot of similar characteristics. They both had easy power, easy spin, and really easy to swing. But if I think it came down to it and I had to play a tournament, I think I would lean towards this Ripcord. And the reason is I thought it offered a good balance of power and control, very similar to my racket of choice, the E-Zone 100. I also found I was very consistent with this frame. Both on my ground strokes, I was making a lot of balls back, as well as my first and second serve. I played a match and I had a really high first serve percentage with this, which is always a bonus for me. Overall, I found this to be a really high-performing racket from all areas of the court. I didn't have a favorite shot to hit because I really enjoyed hitting all of them. So if you're looking for a fun racket to play with and really bright, bold cosmetics, check this one out.
I play tested this racket alongside the Ripstick 100, and I have to say I do like this one a little bit more for a couple reasons. One, I feel like this one has a lot more controllable power. It still has really good power and spin and depth with it, but I felt like I wasn't spraying balls long as often with this racket. And the second reason I like it is because of the beam. I like that more classic traditional beam. I get more feel with it. I feel like I can kind of know where I'm hitting on the string bed with this racket compared to the one with O-ports. As far as maneuverability goes, I feel like it's a pretty easy to swing racket like Brittany mentioned. I didn't really have any issues from the baseline or up at net, and I really enjoyed it on my serve as well. Felt like it was just easy to get the racket up and through contact. So all in all, a really fun play test for me. I would put it alongside a racket like the Bablock Pure Drive or the E-Zone 100, so it's a great modern day intermediate racket.
There are a couple of rackets in this Rip series, and this Ripcord 100 is definitely my preferred of the two. The one with the ports, it was a little bit too dampened feeling for me, so I felt really connected to my shots on this Ripcord 100, and I was still getting plenty of easy power, easy spin, good depth in the court. I really like this racket for its all-around playability. I could play my usual counter-punching game and sticking to the baseline, or I could be a little bit more attacking and come to net with some good confidence. I thought that the directional control was good at net and some decent stability as well. I do think this is one of those rackets that intermediate players are going to find really familiar as they start swinging the racket, and if you are a fan of the Prince Beast series, you should really check out this Ripcord 100. It offers a lot of the same playability in a bright new cosmetic.
This Ripcord 100 really reminded me of a cross between a Prince ATS Textreme Tour 98 and something like a Head Extreme MP. And that's a really good spot to be in if you ask me, compared to a lot of other 300 gram, 100 square inch hoop frames. You know, like your Ultra 100, your E-Zone 100, frames like that. I do think that this Ripcord offers a little bit more precision compared to those frames. So if you like 100s but don't want to go down to a 98 and are looking for a little bit more control, this is a really solid option. Like some of the other playtesters mentioned, this racket is loaded with power and spin. So if you're a fan of like shaping heavy topspin drives on either wing, I do think it is pretty conducive for that. That said, I did notice a little bit of a tendency to spray balls long or wide sometimes. So it really forced me to sort of focusing on just rolling the ball really smoothly, not going for too much. And then I really enjoyed this frame up at net. I typically prefer a softer feel when volleying, and this racket is a little bit stiffer. Ours came in around 68 for the RA. So it's a little bit faster, a little bit more of a rebound on impact, but that just encouraged me to go for shorter volleys, shaping the ball a little bit more aggressively against my opponents. I really enjoyed this racket on returns. I feel like it was very solid for taking away +1 opportunities if possible. I didn't like it quite as much on serves. It was a little bit erratic for me. Couldn't go after my targets as aggressively as I would have wanted to, perhaps. That being said, I do think this is a really solid option within a sort of tried and true classic combination of specs. If you're looking again for something with a little bit more controlled compared to some other 100-inch hoops, definitely check out this frame. That wraps up this playtest today. For this racket, we strung up the frame with Prince Vortex at 52 pounds, one of our classic testing tensions. And for anything else tennis related, check us out at Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, and Tennis Only.